The Real Estate and Mortgage Show, your go-to spot for everything home buying, selling, and financing on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I hope everybody had an amazing Canada Day, regardless of the weather. Holy moly.
Wet and wet.
Well, you know what?
Second most rainiest day, right, in Ottawa, ever history.
Yeah, 118 millimeters?
Yeah,
Wasn't that the official?
Most. Yeah,
I got caught with my jet skis on the sand. I had to put them on their lifts in that major storm.
In the storm?
Down. They were battering around everywhere. I could hardly see. Rain was pelting down. But the bigger issue...
Wait, and wasn't Petra standing in the living room
they
window
were all watching me waving as I'm...
I'd have the video camera going. I haven't seen one video of it. I'd want to see Petra, send me video.
Yeah, she was there waving. I think she was probably having a drink, enjoying herself. But the biggest problem with what happened on Canada Day is the flooding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues around kind of Greenbank and Iris by the IKEA. A lot of floods there. And another one was pools. We heard lots of stories. In fact, one of my agents, Jason, one of my inside sales agents, Jason, his mom and dad, their pool actually got so high. So high it went into their basement. They got major damage in their house. My main guy, my handy guy, Vic, he said that his brother-in-law was constantly backwashing the water to get the water out of the pool because it was rising so quick. So the sad part about what happened on Canada Day is the flooding, and there's tons of it. So if you're one of those people, I'm really sorry to what you're going through, but there was there's trees that fell down. It was a major, it wouldn't be Canada Day without major storms.
If it wasn't a big storm, right?
You know what? Yeah. I mean, hopefully insurance now helps these people fix what the problem was in the basement if your basement's flooded. Now, in some cases, there's nothing they can do. I mean, it is the way the house was built is the way the house was built. But, with a little luck, hopefully, some of these people that had these homes that got absolutely bombarded on Wednesday, hopefully the insurance companies now help them rectify that problem.
Well, and the ideal situation was if your basement did flood and you had an old school terrible basement, you're now getting a brand new basement, right? On insurance. But it's still a pain in the butt. I've gone through it. It's not fun. It's a long process. You're worried about mold now. So you got to get it remedied really quick. And
properly.
And with so much flooding on that day, insurance companies are going to struggle to keep up. So we're going to have a lot of people with a lot of
insurance
washers.
companies and contractors are going to struggle to keep up.
Exactly.
Right?
So we're such short on contractors as it is. So it's going to be tough.
Good contractors, you're right, are very tough to find these days. So people are going to be desperate and just hope that anybody can come to
They're hard
house.
enough to find as it is, let alone in a situation like this. So, Paul, quick question on that. So what happens if a house there's a deal done and before closing?
It's a great question because there's a couple things that can happen, right? One, you could get out of the deal. I mean, but most likely you're not going to. You're just going to make sure it's remedied. But then again, do you want the sellers who've already sold this house, do you want them to do the fixing, or do you want the buyers to do the fixing? I know if I bought that house, I want to fix it up the way I want to fix it up.
Yeah, because your intent is to be there for several years, ideally, right? Yeah.
Well, you're going to get an empty basement, presumably, right? Now, again, if it's unfinished, it's unfinished. Then that's not so difficult. It's when it's a finished basement, you're saying, if that's the case and we're going to have an insurance company come in, then I'd rather tell them here's what I want done as opposed to.
Yeah. And you make an arrangement with that insurance company that it gets done even with the new ownership. But I'm going to tell you something.
You get the right to do that, though.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's something where I've seen people sort of back out of deals and not go through deals. Then there's a big lawsuit, a big dispute. You've sold your house. You've maybe already moved on to the next house.
You've committed to your next house.
You need that money to get into that next house. So it's not a pretty situation. I hope there's not a lot of people out there that are going through this where they've sold their house and all of a sudden now their basement's flooded and now they're in a bit of a panic. We're lucky that we haven't had any calls from any of our clients on this situation. But if it does happen, it's you're back to the drawing board.
You have to disclose it. Like I'm curious as to so now you've sold your firm. And this happens to you, and you're the seller first, and then we'll put the other hat on. But you're the seller. Are you obligated at that point, unless you get it fixed before, let's say the closing date is August 1st. So if you can get it all remedied by August 1st, do you have to still declare it, or do you not have to declare it?
So the answer, I'd love to refer to a lawyer on that one, but I'm going to tell you right now, you should be disclosing that it is a flood.
Right.
It's a flood. You have to disclose when there's water damage and when there's flooding. So, yes, you will have to disclose that. I'm sure there's some that won't disclose it.
As a purchaser, I'd say I want to know because the next rainstorm like this, now I'm going to be stuck with with this. Like if it doesn't get remedied properly. So I'd like to know ahead of time.
Now it's a massive surprise for you as a new purchaser.
Now I got to deal with this later on.
Sometimes the sellers hides things like that. It'll always come back to bite them, though, because one day they'll be talking. You'll move into your new house. You'll be talking to the neighbor, and they'll be like, "Oh, did you know the Smiths had a major flood in their house?" Pardon?
What?
They didn't tell us about this major flood. Lawsuit galore when that happens.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Or do people just let it go?
No. They don't let it go.
Okay.
I mean, if I've asked if is the house ever flooded? Nope, we've never had any water damage. To find out there was a swimming pool in the basement one time when there's a major flood. That needs to be divulged, especially if it comes in from a major crack, right? Behind a wall, and
then your home inspector should have caught that.
Yeah, but what if it's a finished basement and they don't? They catch it from the outside, but what if it's like right underground? I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. But yeah. Difficult situation. I feel bad for all the flooding out there. Like I said, it's touched some people in our office, so I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
And I just hope the insurance. We've had so much water issues over the last few years along the Ottawa River, in Gatineau, in Ottawa, Constance Bay, Britannia. That there's
Rockland.
Rockland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of insurance companies now that are not allowing over waterland, meaning if it floods again, sorry, we can't do it. I know my company does, but it's very far and few between, and they cancel it quick. Like I'm not going to say the company, but I was with a company. And because I'm in Constance Bay, if my house floods in Constance Bay, the whole...
You're on your own?
Well, no, I'm not. But if my house floods in Constance Bay, the whole of Bay is underwater, right?
So yours is up a little higher.
Yeah, so I'm never going to flood. But my insurance company, basically, when it was time to renew, said, "Oh, by the way, we're not offering you over waterland anymore." And I said, "Well, why not? I've never flooded. I never will flood." Yeah, no, not in your area anymore. So I really had to do my homework and find a company that would allow over waterland. And like I said, I shouldn't have to worry about it, but it's nice to have that peace of mind. If I'm paying for insurance, I want something like that for sure. And let's be honest, there's a lot of places on the water, on the Ottawa River, tons of places.
That's where we live, right?
Yeah.
There's beautiful lakes, rivers, waters all around this region where people have houses.
Exactly.
So.
And it's weird, especially in the Ottawa River. It brings it back to a man-made error. Because we didn't have a flood for 100 years. And then, we've had 17, we've had 19, we had 23. Even this year, there was flooding in Rockland, a little bit in Constance Bay, a little bit in Britannia. So there was flooding this year. So what is that, 4 floods since 2017, last 9 years? There's something going on with up the dams up north, because there's no way we should be flooding that much when we haven't flooded in so many years, 100 years.
And yet you got some places where, with all the wildfires, which, knock on wood, we haven't heard much of this year, which is awesome. But, they're craving water. It's crazy the way this world is these days.
Well, when I was in San Diego, when I was in California, they were begging for rain because they had such a drought. Their grass was brown.
Well, hasn't California been under a drought for like 12 years?
It was. And so there's one day they had like a week of major rain, and everyone was like rejoicing because they're like, no more wildfires. Everything's wet. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Because I guess everywhere you are, every climate. Our
There's
climate,
something.
Our climate here in Ottawa, I strongly believe it sucks. Let's be honest. Our winters are freezing.
Don't hold back, Paul. How do you really feel?
With tons of snow.
Yeah.
Our summers are scorching hot with humidity. But then again, would I rather be out in Florida with the tornadoes and the hurricanes, or would I rather be in California with the wildfires? Every climate and every area has their downfalls for sure.
Yeah, Europe's going through their third heat spell now in the last 6 weeks. They've had a week of absolute 40 degrees and humidity up the yin-yang. So, again, everybody goes through it. I think every country, we're unique. I find where we're unique, especially in Ottawa, where we'll have 30-degree weather swings in 24 hours. That is one of the most unique things that I've ever seen, where we'll go from +3 to +34 in 24 hours, and then the other way around too in the winter, where we'll go it's +7, and
the shocking way
that night it's -30, just like that.
Well, a couple years ago, Petra and I went to visit her dad in Slovakia, and they were going through a heat wave at the time, and it was they had no air. He had no air conditioning at the time. Oh my God, nights was a sweat box. It was 45 degrees every day and humid. And they're going through the exact same thing now.
Yeah, you get used to it, I think, and fans help. But still, they don't have the extremes that we do either. Which is
and air conditioning's not common in Europe, is
No, it's
my
not.
understanding. Is
It's
that right?
because electricity is so expensive, and the units themselves are very expensive to begin with, and people just can't afford them. Because in Europe, they live, paycheck to paycheck, but they live happy. I feel like they're happier there, even though they're not exactly loaded with cash in their bank accounts, but they just seem happier there than we do here.
Because things are cheaper. Like my girlfriend's father is paying €200 a year for property tax on his property. €200.
What?
Yeah.
That's Italy too. My uncle who moved from Montreal, sold his house in Montreal, built a house 4 times bigger in Italy. He goes, in Montreal, I was paying $3,800 a year in taxes. This is 15 years ago.
I was going to say, that
seems low.
15 years ago, by the way.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Now he's €400
a
year, period. And he goes, they have no idea. They should be collecting more tax, but they don't do it. They don't know what to do.
Which even go to when I went to Slovakia, I went to the grocery store. I went with €20 when I came back with what I could buy here for about $300.
It's different.
Yeah, it's totally different. But anyways, we're off on a tangent. I don't think we have time for the numbers. So
we will get to the numbers when we get back from the break for sure. But just give us a quick synopsis. How was June, Paul?
You know what? June was not awesome. I mean, as a company, we did great. We sold 82 homes in June with firm and conditionals, which is a ton.
Yeah.
So we were up June over June. The market was down. I'll get a little bit into the market. The average sale price was up, though, which was good news. So we're starting to see the average sale price come up. The biggest issue we have right now is listings, and active listings are through the roof, so which is putting a lot of pressure on sales, and that's why we're down in sales now. But I'll go through as soon as the break's over.
Yeah, we'll dig into those once we get back. If you have a question, head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com. You can ask it there or give us a call. 521-TALK, 521-8255. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. As promised, the real estate numbers from June.
So, Greg, I printed them out so big that I don't even have to put my glasses on. This is awesome.
It's so big that I'm across a huge table and I can read it. That's how big.
See, I have to be careful with my cell phone because if there's people behind me, they can read everything. My letters are
It is the largest font I think I've ever seen on a phone screen. I'm just saying.
I've seen larger. I've seen my mom's. Trust me. So, June, as I mentioned, we saw our number sales go down 4.9%. Our active listings and our
over last June, right?
Over last June.
What was last June? Was last June a good month or
It wasn't bad. But our sales are down 4.9%. New listings and active are through the roof, and that's what we're seeing, and that's putting the hardest pressure on sales.
How many listings? I'm curious.
How many in the month? Oh, see, now I got to put my glasses on. Right?
Well, what you printed that smaller?
If anybody wants to see it, you can go to YouTube, go to realestateandmortgageshow.com, and you can see Paul take his glasses on and off in the video.
1,518
new listings.
Yeah.
But how many in total? What is there? 4,000 or 5,000?
6,000.
Okay.
Here we go, Frank.
No, but that's but I'm only saying because for the longest time we were at 4,000, 4,200, 4,500. It feels like it's been in that 4,000 range for the last 6 to 8 months.
7,000. So it's at 7,000.
Wow, so it's really creeping up again.
Really creeping up again. I mean, we're up double digits in number of listings. So let's look at year to date. Tells a good sample size. I mean, we're halfway through the year, just over halfway through the year. Number of sales are still down 6.1%. New listings and active listings, like I mentioned, through the roof. Only 45% of homes that hit the market are actually selling. Less than half are actually selling.
Wow, that stat is not changing, eh?
No, and our months of inventory is actually creeping up to 3.4 months. So we're definitely in a balanced market. But like I said, some are balanced, some are selling, some are in a balanced market. But as a whole, we're pretty much in a balanced market. Our average sale price, though, is creeping up. We're only down 0.2%. We're at $703,000, pretty much where we ended last year. So we're back up into the sevens, which is good news. For a long time, we were down quite a bit, and people were worried that, things aren't selling, and they're selling for way less. When you break down the segments, number of sales are down across the board. So single-family homes, number of sales down 4.8%. But I won't even talk about the new listings at every segment because they're all up. They're all up, the new listings.
No matter what bracket you're looking at.
But the average sale price is completely flat at $855,000, but only 46% of single-family homes are actually selling. Townhomes, which we thought would be a little bit more active, which I think will be more active now that the HST rebates come in. So I think they will start to pick up a little bit. But number of sales are down 3.8%. 48% of townhomes are actually selling. So once again, less than half. And the months of inventory is at 2.9, which puts us in a bit of a seller's market leading into a balanced market. If you're priced well, you're located well, and depending what segment you're in or where you are in the city.
On townhouses.
On townhouses, yeah. So it's only 2.9 months of inventory, and our average sale price is down 2.8%.
And now
we get to the Achilles heel of the market, and I've been saying this month after month, and it's probably been 2-3 years that's been the Achilles heel. If you're a condo homeowner right now and you're looking to sell, it is a bit of a struggle. Number of sales are down 15.5%. Only 3 out of 10 are actually selling. 37%. So 3 out of 10 are actually selling. So 7 out of 10 do not sell.
Whoa.
Months of inventory are at 5.4 months. We're definitely in a buyer's market when it comes to condos, 100% a buyer's market. And our average sale price is down 4.4. So to put a bow on it, good news that our average sale price is creeping up a little bit. And I know that a lot of buyers are saying, well, that's not good news. I liked it better when it was cheaper. It's still very, very reasonable than what could be right now. So having an average sale price of $703 is not terrible. But for the longest time, buyers have had all the options, all the selection, all the opportunity, and sellers were really scrambling. We're still seeing that with inventory super high. Sellers are very, very grumpy right now, but it's nice to see the average sale price creeping up again a little bit, getting back to where we were last year. We're not down, which is great. At one point, we were down 5.5%. We're now pretty much flat, down 0.2%. So
0.2, yeah, basically.
So, I mean, I'm hoping in July, I have some better news at the end of July with some numbers, but the numbers weren't amazing. But like I mentioned, if you're a buyer in this market, I think you have an amazing opportunity because there's so much selection for you. Listings are through the roof. You're not going through a subdivision and only looking at 1, 2, or 3. You have 13 or 15 to look at. You can take your time. You can be more selective. You can make better offers. So buyers, gold. Sellers, I've never, like I said before, and I see it I'm looking at listings down. I'm seeing agents take listings with their iPhones, and, the write-up's not great, and their information's lacking. And I'm like, you can't be listing with the cheapest option right now. You have to be going with the top realtors in the city. You have to, because it's the marketing plan that really matters right now, and it's the pricing strategy. And if you don't have precision pricing and a good marketing plan, you are dead in the water. Like I said, only less than half the homes are actually selling. And so it's never been more prominent to list with the right people to get your home sold in this market.
I don't know why, but that stat surprises me every month. The last 3 or 4 months, that only 45% of homes that are listed are selling.
That's normal though, Greg.
Is it?
I had an American come down and teach a course one time, and it was a bunch of realtors from the board. And he actually said, he goes, what percentage of homes in your market are selling? And all the realtors like 78%, 82%, 90%. And I was like, 42%. Everyone looked at me like I had 4 eyes. And the guy's like, yeah, you're right. It's 42%.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm like, they're like, what? 4 out of 10 are only selling? I'm like, so in any given market, usually only half the homes are selling, depending on if we're in the COVID market or if we're in a regular market.
Right.
But it's usually hovering around that 42 to 52 is really where we're hovering.
And that's historical as well.
That's historical.
Setting COVID aside, as you said.
That's historical.
Yeah.
So that happens for a couple of reasons. You're priced wrong. You're not listed with the right person with the marketing plan, or you don't listen to your agent on pricing. Right now, I literally call it precision pricing. If you're not doing precision pricing and you're just listening to what the sellers want, and nails on a chalkboard is when one of my agents or an agent in the city says, that's what the seller wanted. And I'm like, well, if you're listening to the seller who aren't the professionals in the market, you're not the professional.
The listing price is not the market value of the home.
No. And the listing price isn't what the seller wants. It's what the forensic evidence tell you it's worth. Right? So
yeah, you can't force somebody to overpay.
No,
for a house.
You can't. And the buyers and the buyer's agent have the same information that I have.
Right.
So if I can't prove that your house is worth $750 and we're, listed at $789, the buyer sees that it should be $750 and the buyer's agent sees it should be $750, and your home is not going to sell.
And that's when you're getting a call from the buyer's agent going, why are you priced at $789?
Yeah. Oh, that's what the sellers wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
That must be tricky on your end, Frank, when you're trying to write up deals and if places are overpriced.
Well, I don't think we haven't had any issues right now on purchase prices where a lender or default insurers come back and said, we want an appraisal on this one. We generally tend to avoid appraisals. Where we're seeing some issues is, and again, we've gone through some periods in our lifetimes where in the 80s, you still hear, especially from the boomers, talk about the 18% and how mortgages were at 18%. you see all these, and now forever we're going to be talking about that 2-year period during COVID in 2021.
Forever. Yeah.
Forever. And people just don't forget it, and they always refer back to it. And those are little pieces of our history in real estate and in mortgages, and yet people always refer back to it as if it's going to happen again, or it should still apply to their scenario where it doesn't. So, people are coming off mortgage renewals today at 1.89, 1.99, and you've got the banks calling them 6 months in advance and saying you should early renew. And I keep saying to them, don't early renew. Don't give up
4.09
historic rate that you're never probably going to see in your lifetime again. Keep it as long as you can. Do not get fooled by someone telling you to early renew because it's right for you, because that doesn't make any sense. Have them describe to you how that makes financial sense.
No, Frank, if rates were going up, different story, but there's not an app. Well, you got bank economists.
So again, I think one of the things that's upsetting me these days is the fact that, and lots upsets me the way this world is, but one of the things that really upsets me is if you look at a general economist who doesn't belong to anyone, isn't being paid by anyone, who looks at things differently than a bank economist does. And it makes me wonder if the bank economist is actually forecasting what's best for that bank's bottom line.
What they want
to see. So when you've got bank economists saying that prime rate's going to go up 0.75 of a point next year, I wonder in what world does this economy that's going on right now, Canadians and Americans both who are hurting tremendously to get across the finish line every month, in what world does interest rates going up 0.75 of a point help them get ahead and help the economy moving forward?
Crippling.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Have a question, head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com. You can submit it there, and we'll get it on air as quick as we can. Or give us a call at 521-TALK, 521-8255. We'll be right back.